Today I want to show you a new feature of Quantum. This is the ability for the tempo to be driven by a MIDI input instead of the normal clock for the master or the slave. So the button in the options for master, if you tap it, the next option is noteIn. You can go to slave, back to master or noteIn. With this button there is a rotary next to it which will give you a number anywhere between 1 and 126, with 127 being any. So this represents the MIDI note that will be triggering the sequence. So what this actually does is it triggers the advance of a step. It plays a step, so advances then plays a step. So you can use this instead of a clock. So when you've got master, you would normally play a sequence just by pressing the play button. Change the tempo. And here we have a sequence with 4 parts. We'll change it to 1 part. It plays the part. So, let's stick to 1 part at the moment. Let's go back to the options, change it to any. Let me stop the sequence first. Go to noteIn, let's choose any input. I'm going to drive this from MidiSequencer. So, to drive this from MidiSequencer, or any input, go to the input page of devices, choose your input, make sure it's active, and make sure your MIDI input is on. Now, the play buttons don't work, nor does the tempo. So if you go to MidiSequencer, this will now play the sequence. So every note here, C3, which is 60, will be sent to Quantum and play a note. See the MIDI in. You can see the steps being triggered. So in MidiSequencer, if you say put a 0, it won't trigger the note. Let's do it. You can see this in Quantum. There's a pause. So this is a trigger. This is an 8-step sequence. It triggers the first, not the second or third, but the 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. You can adjust this how you want. Quantum will also work because this is split into different parts. Each part selected part will play. But you can, if you want, play all 4 together by pressing this button here. All 4 steps advance. And to stop it, just press MIDI input. So the setup is playing Xeon. You can see here the MIDI is disabled for MidiSequencer. This is what MidiSequencer would sound like. The zero note obviously sounds weird there. This is it played through Quantum. You can change in the options the any to be a single note. So it picks the note 60, which is C3. Only step 1 and 6 will play, and 7 and 8 of course. Now 3 plays. You can end up with interesting rhythms if you change the length of the parts, because each part is triggered one step together, and if one part is longer than the other, they will play out of rhythm.